So
Cool.
this will be on Steam for everyone, and I'm going to start streaming in Discord.
Awesome.
Sorry, not to interrupt or anything like that.
No, we're good.
Everyone's heard that story before. Probably.
Okay, let me see. Switch to performance mode. Alright. So let's see. Okay, so for this particular coaching session, I went through one of the games versus Ember. The Meeple one was just kind of like, to me. I think it was just more drafting issues than anything, honestly. Because it's like the biggest thing that I'm noticing against like higher level teams is that you guys are starting to really learn just the differences between like a rank 100 in the lane and versus like what you're used to, ancients, divines, etc. And that can make things really difficult. So I was kind of torn because I feel like a lot of the little things are just things that you have to pick up while you learn how to play, like over your 10,000 hours, if you choose to put that much into it. That's kind of what you'll be learning. But I figured we could go over some of the small things. So I actually went over a professional game as well that I'd like to kind of show you guys. And when we're going over the professional game, I believe it's OG versus NIP. We're just going to look a little bit more into the really tiny things that they do during the lane that they do correctly that can definitely make an impact on your games. But that's going to come later. I did want to go over at least, let's see, how many games did I go over? Yeah, at least one of the games that you guys did with Ember, because I felt like you definitely drafted okay. It was winnable, but it just was too dependent on like winning the laning phase, and that didn't really happen. Because honestly, things like Ember versus TA should be like 65-35 in favor of the Ember, but you just like I mean, you guys just got stomped mid lane, which made things really hard when like a TA that is destroying her timings is just running down your lanes. It's not a fun position to be in. So that was something. But then it's like some other small things. Well, so there were small things and then there were not so small things. I wrote all of the not so small things into the coaching notes for today, but the small things we're just going to be going over kind of together real quick here. So let me pull up that game. All right. So of course this is going to tank my FPS. For some reason, it always does during the drafting phase. Anyone figures out how to fix streaming issues during the drafting phase, let me know. Because that would help me a lot.
What do you mean tanking your FPS?
You'll see it in the Twitch. You'll see it in the Twitch. That's where it's more of an issue. Okay, so this whole thing. Boom. So, I think the things that I glossed over, because I believe I was there for these games. The things that I glossed over were the second pick Lifestealer. Lifestealer's just not a hero right now. And if you guys has anyone been following like the professional kind of streams on Twitch or anything like that? Anyone?
I have not personally.
No.
Okay.
I usually do, but not.
Okay. So one of the biggest things that I've been seeing a lot of recently is Mars all of a sudden became first pick, first ban material. And if we go and look at like the changelog, I don't even think he was in here. Yeah, he wasn't. So how does this happen? How does Mars just become first pick, first ban material in this current meta? Like, why would that happen all of a sudden? Does anyone have any idea?
Counter got nerfed.
Anything else? Anyone?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like as time goes on, people try out new heroes, and then
True.
heroes that are
No,
sometimes thought to be just like left on the wayside.
that's
Some to
totally
realize are
that's totally
strong.
valid. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's totally valid. Definitely. I think the biggest thing, like Lincoln said, I might have even told you this already, cheater. But definitely the biggest impact is basically all of his hard counters getting really, really hardly nerfed.
Mhm.
Life Stealer is probably the biggest one out of all of those. Slardar too, to some extent, but definitely Life Stealer. His early game is just thrashed right now. I mean, he got some huge nerfs. I think it was like almost. I think that comes out to about like 5% or more base damage reduced at level 1. And then, like, the attack speed also hurts him a lot. It just doesn't feel nearly as good as it did before. So that's part of the reason, I think. And it's just when these small changes happen, you got to also always remember that they have a really significant um, effect on the overall game. Because, yes, Lifestealer got, like, maybe it was a big nerf, maybe it was something considered minor, but the upside to that is that all of a sudden Mars becomes a much better hero because one of his hardest counters isn't picked nearly as much or isn't nearly as good. All of those items that they used to build, Maelstrom, Mjolnir are not nearly as good as they were anymore, especially against Mars. And so you get these hero changes in the middle of a meta, and some of it might just be teams that are kind of getting a little bit more comfortable with expanding their pool, but a lot of it is just these small changes really do make a big impact. So one of the biggest things is that Lifestealer just isn't a hero anymore. He's not. Even if it's a good game for Lifestealer, it just doesn't feel very good anymore. Like the laning stage got really nerfed pretty heavily. Everything else just kind of follows after that. But it's like I don't really like to see it anymore. I definitely don't think it's second pick material. So I think that was really the biggest problem. The next thing is picking the Underlord Ember Spirit into a Faceless Void, because now what? You've got 3 melee cores, nobody that does any right click, and they all have to be basically stacked on top of each other against this Elder Titan, Faceless Void, Leshrac, Templar Assassin, who all these heroes love it when they've got people either coming to them or staying within a certain radius. So that's a little bit difficult. Again, another thing, it's like against the Faceless Void, you really want to have some kind of save. I see a lot of teams picking up like Shadow Demon or even Wyvern or even OD. OD would have been really interesting this game, but yeah, no, the Ember Spirit didn't really fit the bill, and neither did Underlord really to some extent because it's like it might be. You might have had some good times in lane, but it's like if I'm picking Faceless Void, the last thing I'm worried about is an Underlord pick, honestly, because that's not where most of my damage comes from. Most of the damage comes from time lock, double damage during chrono, or just proccing it in lane. Or your support, who this game was an Elder Titan, just right clicking away. So Elder Titan isn't punished by the Underlord pick at all. Void, not to a little extent he is, but not really. Um, and after that, it was just some skilling issues, and I think we really talked about that, so we're not going to go over it much more. Anyways, let's skip into this. Okay, so the mid lane actually seemed pretty decent for everyone. Let me change this to his perspective. No, you know what, let's just do player or free camera. So the mid lane actually went really, really decently. up until about 2 minutes, which is where things could have gone a little bit differently. The only thing I would really suggest right now is always prioritizing those range creeps, especially with Flame Guard, because there's no reason to give those up to someone like a TA. I'll show you exactly what I mean. You did perfect in the first wave. The second wave, I think, got denied, which just shouldn't happen with Flame Guard on Ember Spirit. Like you can see, pops Flame Guard. Good, good, good. Gets on top, pushes him off the range creep, gets it. Next one, awesome, perfect, good job. Little bit of some issues with the last hitting, but like right here. TA walks up, that one didn't get gone after at all. It wasn't denied, but there wasn't really any emphasis on that second range creep. So let's see, let's skip forward a little bit to about 2 minutes. And again. So right here. Okay, this is the first big mistake as a mid laner. And I'll tell you why. This 1 minute 30-second wave, again, like I was saying from the start, and I'll repeat it up until now, Dota is 100% about timings. This 1 minute 30-second wave that just came out, you need to push it out as a mid laner in almost every single matchup. It doesn't matter if you're a Shadow Fiend or a Tinker or a Zeus or what have you. Every single one is going to be very, very similar, if not the exact same. There's very few heroes that you don't want to push this wave in particular. Alchemist is like the only one I can really think of off the top of my head. But almost everyone else is going to be the exact same. You want to pop Flame Guard, push out this wave as fast as you can. Can anyone else tell me why?
Rune control.
Exactly. Hit it on the head. Rune control. You want rune control as an Ember Spirit. There's no reason not to get it. You don't want to give it up to this TA. This TA has absolutely no reason to get it. She has very limited wave control, or wave clear rather, early on when you have Flame Guard that can force her out of the lane, kill off this creep wave very efficiently, and you had it off of cooldown. Which, I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't have used it here. It should have just been automatic. Salve up to full HP, Flame Guard, run out the creep wave, get rune control. I think you got it anyways, but this is just one of those not so small things that you really need to focus on if you want to improve as a mid laner. So, in Ember versus TA matchup as well, perfect. This movement right here was awesome. You want to trade hits with her at equal HP when Flame Guard is up. And the issue with what happened later on, this is a good trade right now. You can see, like, and Aaron knows it as well. He moves back on the TA because he knows he can't trade with you. This is exactly what you have to do. Pop Flame Guard, run at the TA, clear the wave, run back, stack, or go for runes. That's all it is about this matchup. I wasn't very, and you can see, like, he traded very, very poorly. Got him down to half HP. Now, the issue with this matchup, and where a lot of lower ranked Embers run into trouble against TA, is that you can't run at her if you're not at equal HP. And later on you'll see, if once you run at her with this 50% HP, it just doesn't end well. It should be a very, very easy matchup for Ember Spirit, but again, you have to consider, how do I pressure her, when do I pressure her, and what can I do to enable my ability to pressure this lane. Very rarely will you actually kill her, a TA in an Ember versus TA matchup, especially unless you go for like a point and searing change, which isn't always preferable. It kind of slows down your farm a lot, and it takes away a point of Sleight of Fist, which really is important early on. So you're not necessarily looking to kill her, but you want to be able to contest all of these creeps and contest her farm and farm freely. So you can do that, but you just have to be wary of doing it around your skills and always ferrying out enough regen so that you just don't sit on 50% HP. So you can see. And again, this rune really needed to be picked up a lot earlier. If you had that for like This wave, maybe you get to deny this, maybe you can just control it a little bit better. This was a cool movement though, I really like this. Blocking out her camp. That was very heads up. I just wanted to commend that. That was very smart thinking, very very knowledgeable, knowing that she might have gone for that stack, but she did. That was really cool. Like right here, you can see, part of the issue with going for this early Wraith Band is that you don't have money for a bottle. I don't necessarily think you need a Wraith Band this early on. I think it's more important to get your regen up just so you can constantly pressure her in the lane, even if that means ferrying out like an extra salve or something like that. I see this a lot where you're struggling to know like how much regen do I buy? The answer is there's no real clearer answer. It's just however much you need. And when you're half HP and he's full HP, and you can't pressure the lane because of that, well, that just means that you're not ferrying out enough regen. Like right here. What do you see wrong about this situation? Can anyone say it?
TA just has kill potential.
No, she doesn't have kill potential. Not at all. But
She's nowhere near, so she can just run away, and it doesn't matter that he used flame card.
yeah, that's the biggest thing to me. It's that, well, and not only that either, but how much HP do they have? Really, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, the Ember is like at half HP.
Yeah, the Ember
He
has
is almost at
nothing.
full.
Right, exactly. Like, even though he has a Tango going on, it's just not enough. He has... I mean, if this guy was 800 HP right now, if he had taken out a salve and was pressuring the lane like that, right now, instead of where he's at right... Like, he gets this entire wave, forces him off, gets this creep, and then it's almost 4 minutes, so maybe you go for a stack, maybe you get your bottle after this if you didn't go for a Wraith Band. Like, the lane looks completely different. But because he understands, well, wait a minute, he just used Sleight of Fist, he doesn't have his chains probably because of how much damage he did, he just blocked Flame Guard and he's got half my HP, or like 2/3 of my HP, he understands that he can take a more favorable trade, so he just walks at you. So, because you weren't able to get off any right clicks whatsoever, there was kind of like that hesitation, right? After that, I mean, because right now, TA's only got one more, so if you had like an extra 300-ish HP or something, and were able to kind of take a better trade, this is definitely something you could kind of do. Maybe you do get a kill here, but instead it gives up 1 to the TA, and that's just... Oh, that shouldn't happen. And that was just a result of him walking at the TA with literally half HP. Just minus 400. So, and then after that, I mean, it's just all downhill. TA gets kind of control over all of this, free farm, is able to get an early level 6, and you can't pressure her anymore. So, I guess the first question that I would have, even though he's not here, unfortunately, but I guess everyone else can answer, is what could you do better in that situation?
Ferry out more regen.
Definitely. Anything else?
Have maybe a salve.
Anything else?
Itemizing better.
Itemizing better. Yep, absolutely. Just not going for the early Wraith Band, getting a bottle, getting that room control, and then having way more sustain than this TA. Because it's basically the psychology behind this matchup is just you want to out-trade her, force her to buy regen. Because if you're forcing a TA to buy regen, that delays all of her timings. And TA is a hero that is entirely focused on hitting that, 18-minute or 16-minute Deso Blink timing. If she can hit that, she's feeling great. Anything faster than that, and she's like feeling herself. But if you can delay everything as much as possible, like these Wraith Bands and boots and all that stuff, because she's buying like an extra 500-ish gold, well, now you're pushing back her timings at least 1 or 2 minutes, right? And so these early, if you can have a good lane against this TA, it has an effect, a huge demonstrable effect 16 minutes into the game where she's not hitting her timings as hard as if she had just a lane where she gets fed. So that's pretty much it. After this, so the lane went fantastic, I think, up until 2 minutes. And then that's where the big mistakes started happening. And after that, it was just misplay after misplay. The other big thing was not respecting her level 6 when you were, I think, level 4 or level 5 because of how early she gets it. Let me see. Yeah, so Tia comes in, gets level 6 with this wave. And now you gotta remember, as soon as she hits 6 and she has those traps, you can't really lane. You've just gotta go jungle now for your level 6, and then you can come back to the lane. Because, I mean, TA doesn't really start off with any CC, right? She doesn't have any slows, she doesn't have any stuns or anything like that. There should never, ever be any kill potential against Ember. That's kind of the whole thought process behind it. But now that she gets this 6, and you don't have your ultimate, well, now you have to play it a little bit differently. The big failing on the part of the supports is not bringing out a sentry around this 5-minute mark. B, the failing around the mid lane is that, well, he's not really respecting this out level. And I believe he's going to die again very, very soon because of it. So, right here. No reason not to just hit jungle creeps until you're level 6. Or pull it back very, very far, but... yeah. I mean, because of that, right? And so now TA is... Now, I just want to give you the reasoning as to why this TA felt so impossible to deal with. It's just because she hit her timings amazingly and had, like, the freest lane of all time. This should never, ever, ever happen. And it's very easy to make not happen. But you just have to kind of, I guess, understand the matchup a little bit better. Alright, anyways, let's see. I think that's enough for mid lane. After that, it was just like... I mean... another few little mistakes, but it's like I'm pretty sure I'm clear on my points at this point. No real point. Alright, so let's see. Bottom lane. Okay. So all this is fine up until... oh wait, no, this is actually too far. That's right. Negative 40 is where I want to be. Okay, here we go. So this harass is fine, but I want to show you your vision. Alright, so right here. You find out the Enchantress is right here. She's way out in the middle of nowhere. You don't see anyone else. Fine, go for her. Boom! Right now. Do you think you get this kill with Leshrac showing? Anyone?
No, you don't.
Absolutely not. Is there, like, I guess, what my thought process would be right here is that, okay, we see the Leshrac, maybe I get another couple of right clicks off of this Enchantress, but now we're bordering, like, super greed territory, so I would not be pressuring it any further as soon as I see this Leshrac. Lifestealer obviously doesn't have Rage level 1, doesn't want to get a level 1, and Snapfire went for Scatterblast early on, so there's not going to be any kind of escape or CC. So right here, at this very moment, is bordering greedy territory. I would even say extending past like this tree line as a Snapfire with no escape, or into the fog as the Lifestealer, is just way overextending. So it's like you get up on him, go for it, but then all of a sudden a bunch of heroes pop out of nowhere, right? Because you don't have any vision of them. All that could have been avoided if you just saw the Leshrac, understood, alright, we're not going to get this kill, there's no way, and backed off. So that's really rough. It's a difficult start to bottom lane, because you don't want to be put into this position, where it's like you have to run all the way back to base. Especially in a lane where it's like you didn't go for a whole lot of regen, which like, against an Enchantress and a Lesh, like, I'm not sure about that. So the early game itemization was also a little bit off, I would say. You want to go for an Oof Rush against a very, very favorable off lane. Like, if you've got, like, in past patches, a Mars or a Magnus or something like that. To someone that has to hit the wave, isn't particularly strong early on, and you can take very, very good trades with and force good trades with, that's when you go for an Uv. Right now, you're never, ever going to get any right clicks off early on against these guys until like level 2-ish? Level 3 maybe? Which is when you want to really plan your go time around having that rage, having the open wounds, so maybe even level 4. And the skills of the Snapfire, because it's like until you get Cookie, how are you going to really stay on top of them? So Oof was a little bit greedy. It's like the benefit to going all the way back to base, I guess, is that you got an extra Tango, but I don't. It just, the lane is going to be very, very difficult for you, and so you have to itemize around that. Me personally, I would have even considered like Ring of Protection, and then like the Branch, Quelling Blade, and then Regen. And then you could build it into something like AC, which your entire team is going to need a lot later on. And there's no one to really build it, right? You're against the TA, you're against the Void Spirit, you're against the Elder Titan. You're going to need some extra armor, no matter what this game. And it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of extra. And in this particular lane against 2 ranged heroes, you definitely should have considered some extra early armor, like maybe a Ring of Protection. That could have just been something. Now, at 58 seconds into the game, let me see. Okay, so it's this first range creep. So remember what I said. What's your first objective early on in the game?
Securing last hits on range creeps.
Range creeps, 100%. So what that means is if you've got like a 120 damage nuke, you want to secure this if it's going to be contested. Because otherwise you get behind in levels, they're able to force you out. And especially when like the Lifesteal's not really in a position to get it, you want to be using spells. And it's just good habit to use them anyways. You never want to be in this position where you're dying with full mana. That's really the biggest issue to me. Like Snapfire, you get to use so many Scatter Blasts, so many Fire Snap Cookies, at least what, like 3-4ish before you're out of mana. There's no reason not to just spam them out. So it's like in this particular position, I think there were a few different misplays. First off, the Snapfire was kind of like body blocking the Lifestealer on accident. So coordinating.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really feels bad.
So, but let me show you an example of what I would do a little bit differently. And I think it was more this first wave rather than the second one, because this is where against these guys you really have to like take some good trades before Enchantress gets like Impetus or Nature's Attendance, and then before the Leshrac has some levels making him just super difficult to go on. And again, you want to be harassing who? Who's your first priority to harass?
Whoever the core is in the lane. So
Whoever's farming the lane, correct. So in this particular situation, I would say like Snapfire and move up into this area, over into the trees on the right, and just start spamming out Scatter Blasts to kind of A, secure the range creep, and B, hit the enemy heroes. So so you're getting some harass onto the Enchantress, but it's kind of like spread out. Do you see how what they're both doing, the Leshrac and the Enchantress, both these players are focusing on the Lifestealer, right? They're both right-clicking him. They're both trying to use skills to force him off of the creeps. Both of them are focusing on one. What you guys are doing right here is the Snapfire was kind of right-clicking the Ench, and then the Lifestealer was trying to go after the Leshrac. So if you guys kind of coordinate a little bit better, understand, okay, hey, I got to go for these things. Right here, this is where the first Scatter Blast should have gone. And honestly, the biggest thing for me is that I don't think you don't have vision of this Enchantress. So even though he got it, my thought process as position 5 would be, okay, I don't see the Enchantress. The Enchantress just denied the last creep. I need to secure this range creep no matter what. And so using your Scatter Blast, especially when you can catch maybe a Leshrac or something along with it, is super important. You need to kind of secure them. Just because in future games, obviously didn't happen right here. Future games, that's going to be denied if you don't. And then that's lane losing. Losing the creeps. See right there. Leshrac, first range creep, uses his skill to secure it. Perfect. That's what you need to do. You just need to emulate these players. So another one, like right here, you could have. There's no reason not to like Scatterblast that. That's free damage on him right here. You don't have to push out the creep wave at all. You don't have to catch them, but you could have forced the Leshrac back a little bit, I guess. Man, that whirlwind. I'm seeing this a lot more too. I don't really know. Wow. I guess it is a lot of damage, eh?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's really a lot, especially it will push the wave, so you cannot farm at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, and part of that is like that's why it's so important, I guess, to like save your skills, especially when you're not going to use them. Because if you did have Fire Snap Cookie, shit, you see the Wild Wing Ripper over here, just fucking cookie him. Then you don't have to deal with this tornado for like another 70 seconds. Yeah, so that could have gone differently. I think the whole body blocking was really just unfortunate for the most part. But the big thing that I'm seeing in this bottom lane, use your skills. You have to. There's no reason to sit on full HP unless you're like a lifestealer, basically. But when you've got full mana and you've got your spells and you have this understanding, okay, I need to harass the enemy somehow, just throw out your spells. Make use of that passive regen. There's no reason not to. So let's see.
Couldn't that also be the level 2 if they had level 2 from the...
They got level 2. Did they get level 2 from that kill? I think they did. Yep.
Yeah.
So they got level 2 because of that kill. And now it's like, how do you contest this lane? The Lifestealer hadn't bought a salve, he didn't have any kind of defensive items, and so it's like he just gets right-clicked, and this feels really, really difficult. So yeah, I mean, I think really, you gotta keep that in mind. So what I had written down was that it was just kind of silly that at this point you weren't really trading with the enemy team at all, or using your skills, besides like hitting the Enchantress a couple of times. Yeah, sitting on full mana, letting them harass out your carry, and then you body block your carry. You died with full mana. That should never happen. It's just tiny little. It's not even tiny things. That's huge. Huge things that you can change in your gameplay. If you just have that mindset of, okay, I need to harass this hero. I need to throw out spells. I need to apply pressure in the correct way. All right, so let's move forward to about 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so this was a little micro thing that you do, or I would have done in the lane. So right here, I think you guys had the. Where did the Enchantress go? Okay, so she's playing off the map right now.
Go for him.
So right here, the thing that I'm seeing right now is that you had regen on you, didn't use it, and hadn't been using it. And if you did, I think... Yeah. Okay, so this Leshrac just barely survived. Didn't survive, but just barely survived long enough to kill you. One of the things that everyone has to get used to, it doesn't matter if it's the mid lane, this is especially important in the mid lane. Bot lane, top lane, doesn't matter. You need to make use of your regen, especially when you're trading hits. One of the highest level things that I've ever seen is people popping a tango in preparation just to trade hits. Because that extra regen there is the difference between living and killing him or dying and giving him even more experience. And then, like, think about it. If you had used, like, a tango there and survived that in the first place, because he didn't have a stun, he whiffed his stun, the creep wave is there, so Diabolic Edict damage was going to lessen really quickly. But if you had used that and survived there, you would have gotten a kill on him, been salved up by your support afterwards, and been fine. You'd be feeling yourself right then. That's lane secured. Like, you just recovered completely. But instead, you give up another kill to the Leshrac. He's almost level 3 compared to like the barely level 2 on your support. And he's just gonna walk right back to this lane after using all of his mana. Look at how little mana he has now. 56 out of 471. And just walk back full recovery. So I'd be totally fine with that, honestly, if I was the Leshrac. But that could have been changed by something as little as popping a Tango before you walk at him. So that's something of like a little micro change to all this. Another thing that I'm really not seeing you do enough of is pulling the creep wave. So in this particular situation right here, you have this understanding that, okay, there's an Enchantress over in these trees to the left. Leshrac is a ranged hero that can just get free hits off on me. What do I do to combat this? My answer, and what you should be doing, honestly, almost always, is just pulling the creep wave back to underneath your tower and then last hitting there. You've got plenty of damage. You've got like 72 right now, I think. Or, no, not quite, 70. You've got plenty of damage to last hit underneath the tower. It shouldn't be an issue for you. But what you want to try and minimize is taking like tons and tons of right-click damage from these heroes. And so instead of walking up to this wave and just hitting this creep, what I would personally be doing right now is kind of attacking the Leshrac from this position and then just moving back underneath the tier 1 tower so that you don't tank as many right-clicks from these guys. As you can see now, all this is doing right here is giving this guy more kind of damage onto you. And I mean, it works out. She's super squishy early on. But you could be like 75% HP right now instead of 50% if you were just dragging the creeps underneath the tower. That's the difference that it would make, basically. So it's good to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Now, let's see. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's skip forward ahead a little bit. Good salve. Support doing that for their carry. Awesome. Sweet. Double kill onto the end. She doesn't have a TP back. Solid. I think 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. So this guy just popped one. Did you share the tango with him? That was something I didn't see. No. Okay. So as soon as this all is happening, share that tango. Just do it. You shared the salve. That was awesome. But your job doesn't just stop at that point. The carry still needs to be healthy. There we go.
Didn't he have a tango going? Did I see it incorrect?
Yeah, it was one of his though. So what the priority should be as far as regen goes is even if he does have one, it's good to share one with your carry if you've got an overabundance like this because of the cooldown on shared tangos. That's 60 seconds. If he uses that one instead of his, then during that cooldown period, he can use his own, and then afterwards, if you have another one for him, it'll be off of cooldown rather than the 60-second wait time. So that's just something else to keep in mind. You want to efficiently use those cooldowns on everything, regen especially, though.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep, that makes sense.
So 4 minutes 30 seconds. If your carry is in a position to contest range creeps and you have a huge AoE nuke, just take the CS. Where was it? Let me see. It should be double range creep, I would think. Oh no, it's coming up. Okay. So just remember, supports don't have to just ignore CS. That's one of the things. 2 mangoes, use them. But if there's a range creep up here that your carry is just not in a position to contest whatsoever, or any CS, really, it doesn't matter. Don't feel bad about taking it. Like, if you just pop a mango, walk up to it, and then just scatter blast it right up here, that is so much better than just letting it get denied by the Leshrac. But yeah, bounty runes after that. So, right there, if your support's leaving to go get runes and you're 1/3 HP, there's absolutely no reason to pressure the lane, right? It's just kind of silly positioning, I guess. Like, you have... everyone was calling out runes, I'm sure. You're already not really... You don't want to be here at all against these heroes. It's fine if you just back off, or even go with your support, and then just hit jungle creeps at this moment. Or just wait underneath the tower, too. That's something else you could do. Wait underneath the tier 1 tower until these creeps come underneath it. But yeah, you just gotta always keep in mind, there's no reason to give up these free kills, basically. Because if you saw a 1/3 HP lifestealer walking up to you, full HP Enchantress, full HP Leshrac, you'd be thinking, what the hell is he doing? And it's kind of like clear in hindsight now, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think he could have, though, turned that? He had a 11 stick one, then a 12 stick.
No.
There was a
Especially
wave on top
no,
for the...
Yeah, through the right clicks is too much, I think.
Yeah.
The last right clicks for 70. I don't even know what the end right clicks for.
About
yeah, like
60, and then
it's
has
like
impetus
130,
on
like
top.
every like 2 seconds, regardless.
Yeah. So, that was just one thing on the lifestealer. It's like, these things seem super obvious looking back, but it needs to transition from being super obvious to you understanding it during the heat of the moment in a game. Like, what is a free kill and what isn't. Alright, and I think that was pretty much it. It's like, I feel like bottom lane went okay, but it could have been fantastic, honestly, just because of how broken Snapfire is. It could have been fantastic if it was played a little bit better. Yeah, so this should have been the free lane. It just, unfortunately, wasn't. Cookie yourself? Nah, too late. Yeah. Okay, let's focus on top now. Poor Gugu. Trouble in ranked. Don't we all? Alright, so the TLDR for top lane was that your orbs definitely need work on the puck. I see you whiffing a lot of them, and you're still not maxing Waning Rift instead. I feel like we've gone over this a lot. It's just more efficient. You need the CC against heroes like Void, and Elder Titan and Lesh, and it just scales way better than the Illusory Orb is, especially if like you're not really super confident in hitting them. I saw orb after orb was whiffing, and then you just kept maxing it, and that was kind of a big issue in this lane. But like, yeah, that silence duration against heroes like Void that rely on like time walking off any kind of burst damage is just way more important, and it's just more reliable, right? But I don't think anything really bad happened until like way later. This is all okay. Oh yeah, no, here it was. So like the weird trades with the Elder Titan. It's fine, sitting in there, getting hits on the boy. This is all okay. Of course, getting kind of messed up because this Elder Titan pick. This is a sleeper here, I'm telling you. I think Elder Titan is just so good. So right here. What could you be doing right here that you don't?
Could probably chuck an orb back at Adam.
So what did this orb not do?
Doesn't get you back to lane, right?
Good.
Further away
Right,
from where
right, absolutely.
you really want to be.
Absolutely. Because you don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be trading hits with a freaking Elder Titan that's like some kind of busted hero with 80 damage, level 1. You want to be smacking this guy, pressuring his CS. So A, what this orb doesn't accomplish is it doesn't get you back to the lane. B, it's late. C, it didn't even hit the Elder Titan. So you're just losing out.
Yeah, it did.
Nope, didn't.
Didn't? I thought it did.
It doesn't matter hit or not.
Didn't hit him. So, just considering kind of the trajectory of your orb and what it's going to accomplish is very, very important, especially when you're going for these early trades.
I mean, I think I used. I don't know if I went
And it's
right
like,
back or if I.
why are you spending 6 seconds hitting this instead of being in the lane? You don't need this for 8 more minutes, right? There's no point to it, really. Especially when nobody's going to be TPing into it early on. Your team isn't going to be doing it. Their team isn't, like... It's just another 6 seconds wasted, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. On not doing what you should be doing. And again, these don't actually matter as much as they used to, just remember that. But your core dies, basically, right here. The reason why he died instead of actually getting a kill on the Void or anything else is because Elder Titan was here and you weren't. That's pretty much all there is to it. Elder Titan kind of knew his job, and that was to harass you out because you're the only one who can reliably harass Void from a distance. The Underlord can't really trade hits against Time Lock reliably, and so he pressures you out of the lane, understands that there's no way that you can be there once you've blown orb like that, walks right back, gets a kill on your core. That's entirely on you. There's no way around it. And so, to fix that should definitely be a priority. But it's just a misunderstanding of what you should be doing, really. And that is hitting the Void. So I don't really want to go too hard on you, but that was a big reason why top was so messed up. Was because of this maneuvering right now, level 1. Yeah, and that was really the biggest thing, because it's like it's all downhill after that. Like, yeah, you can TP back to the lane and it doubles up and everything like that, but it's like, this Void's already feeling fine. Like, he's in a great position right now, honestly. He's gonna get free farm, pretty much uncontested, because he's just maxing out Time Lock against Underlord, which is what you should do. Plenty of regen, getting a Wraith Band. Yeah, there wasn't really much else to talk about in this lane, honestly. It was just huge failings level 1 that really made this hard. He denied both the range creeps too. Like, I mean, bottom lane, it's the exact same concept. If these range creeps are getting denied or like getting contested even at all, you always want to be in a position to nuke them down. You don't want to give him those double denies like that, because look at how far behind you guys are. You're level 1 compared to a 2.5 Elder Titan now. This guy's level 2.5 compared to a 3 and 66% Void. All this is because you're not prioritizing the lane creeps, these 2 range creeps, and then you're pressuring this Void at all. So, that was pretty much it. Other small things were just phase shift usage, but that was like way later on. I think this top lane had some major issues just because of some easy fixes, honestly, but really big problems. So, alright, let's move on for team rotations. Up until about 5 minutes. I think you guys did really good with this rotation. I was really glad to see that. I mean, yeah, bottom lane, the Snapfire was just on her shit. Lincoln rotated over for this, was there way ahead of time. Fantastic. It's unfortunate you didn't get it, but still, good rotation. Okay. Oh, and then a little bit of a joke, but going up to 7 minutes, 15 seconds. Kind of threw it in there. If a team ever just randomly says GG, even if it's just on accident or something like that, just type out, we accept. Why not? Just go for it. Maybe you get a forfeit, maybe not.
Did they do it?
Did they actually type GG?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, some good games that I think.
750.
He's
750.
like,
Oh, actually, I remember someone saying something about it in game.
Right
They
here.
typed that. We were
Yeah,
like,
Oh, yeah.
If they type that,
right.
just say we accept. Disconnect. There's nothing they can do.
We accept disconnect.
Yeah, seriously, if they ever do this, even on accident, just say we accept and disconnect.
Ooh, They used like the chat wheel.
Doesn't
Does
matter.
that-
It doesn't matter. It's the same.
Really?
It's the same
Technically,
thing.
the chat wheel will end it as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can type GG, or
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they had to click cancel for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
BM against
100%. Yeah. No, definitely. It's just fuck it. Why not the Drexel Wyvern way? Go for the fucking go for the fucking forfeit. But yeah, don't. If you have GG bound to your chat wheel, unbind it right now when you're in professional games. And if you ever see this happen again, just punish the shit out of it. Why not?
That's really funny. I didn't know it was an option.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. If it's ever any kind of official game, I'm sure AD2L has rules against it. If you're ever in CSL, things like that, it's totally, absolutely prohibited to be doing that kind of BM.
Yep.
And you can take complete advantage over it. Just type, we accept, disconnect. Can't do anything else about it.
Technically, based on the rules for CSL and AD2L, we're not even supposed to be using chat wheels.
Yeah, right.
Those chat wheel voice lines.
There you go.
Like you're not supposed to have any communication at all with the other team,
So,
except for good luck,
strictly
have fun,
speaking,
and GG.
Strictly speaking, technically, at 8 minutes into the game, this was completely winning for you guys.
We did it, boys.
Back it up.
But yeah, don't allow that BM ever to happen, and don't ever BM like that. That's just a good lesson, because yeah, they absolutely should have forfeited it just because of that. If this was a real official game.
God.
All right, so
All
great
right, Mark,
rotation
quickly
from
message the admins and appeal it because they.
Oh,
already forfeited
shut
this.
up! Get out of here! All right, so
I retroactively accept the forfeit.
Alright, hang on. So this was the first rotation from Ember's Spear. I think it was perfectly timed. The execution, however, could do a little bit better. So let's see. Biggest thing for me right now... Okay, so you've got this right here. What can you do differently in this situation right now as Ember Spirit? You understand the Void time walked forward. He doesn't have Chrono. You've got your whole team here. Elder Titan is about to stomp you. What could you do differently?
Sleight of fist or remnant out.
Yeah, exactly. You could remnant out of the distance of the stomp. You could sleight of fist it. You've got a creep right here. You've got a hero right here. More than enough time, basically, in sleight of fist. What, 0.4 seconds? That should be more than enough time for you to time.
He's also got a haste rune running, so the remnant will run out
super fast. Yep. Just stay on
run
top
ahead
of the
void.
Stay on top of the Void Spirit. It's just tiny little things I'm finding you guys are like having a lot of difficulties with, and these are make or break. Like fixing this stuff is so huge into becoming a better player. This stuff is literally make or break on if you get a kill or not, or if you take too much harass and end up dying or not. Like I don't think it necessarily mattered because you still got the faceless void, but in practice, like there's absolutely no reason not to use your skills and to just let him live for like another 15 seconds and risk. Okay, is Leshrac going to come? Is Ench going to be here with the heal? Is TA going to be taking my tower in that 15 seconds? Like, there's so many things that happen when you're just a few seconds behind that can be avoided. So it's like right here. A didn't dodge that. And now what's the effect? What happens because of that? A few seconds later, end up using a remnant, and now... What, maybe miss a few more creeps? Maybe that's what it is? Oh, and then also... I mean, good on you for doing that and stacking. I think that's totally fine, but again, first priority should also always be the creeps. I'm pushing these lanes out too. That was something that I was really noticing some struggle. You flame guard here? No. So yeah, flame guard for those. Use your skills, push out waves, efficiently farm. That's pretty much it. I think that rotation was fine. Honestly, it worked out pretty much in your favor, and you got out of it what you wanted to, but it just could have been done a little bit cleaner. Alright, 10-minute rotation, that's perfect. Get a stack off, get the bounty rune, awesome job. And then I think Ember Spirit went someone instead of farming. Let me see. What was I marking down for this? What did I want him to do? So 10-minute rotations, he goes secures that.
If you're looking for Radiant's bottom tower.
Nah, actually, you know what? I think this is fine. I don't know what I was writing down for that. You prefer just
Maybe it'll show up in a couple seconds.
instead of farming the jungle. Is this rotation top? Did Puck come top?
Puck died bottom and then went top
On top.
because we had a catapult.
Oh, this is where it was. Okay. So it wasn't 10 minutes. 10 minutes went fine. You guys did fantastic on your rotations. I love the stack. But yeah, right here. This is what I was talking about for the 10-minute mark. This would be a fantastic rotation if only Ember Spear was here instead of in the jungle. And remember what I always said, around, 4 minutes, 9 minutes, 14 minutes, etc. You always want to be rotating with this mid laner. And if your entire team is grouping up top to take an objective around the siege creep, you should 100% be there too. Rotating with the siege creeps, either at that 10 minutes and 15 seconds where it reaches this mid lane and you can push it into your tower, great. If not, 10 minutes and 45 seconds when this first wave meets, you should be in a side lane instead of here. Yes, absolutely. I mean, this would have been... Could you guys imagine if right here Ember Spirit just triple remnants in, gets all of this, instantly blows them up, and then is there for more? I mean, then you guys are there, ready to kill this Leshrac. This Elder Titan dies so much quicker.
3v5.
The Elder Titan dies immediately. The Ench dies immediately if Ember's there. You're able to contest the TA coming through. Like, this is completely different, basically, is what I'm trying to say, if Ember Spirit was there instead of farming the jungle. And you gotta be mindful of your rotation timings, right? Go around these catapults, go around these kind of markers that I've been telling you to do over and over again. Yes, it's good that you're getting farm. Yes, it's good that you're kind of stacking the jungle and everything like that, but there's a time and a place. Right now, basically, you want to be farming the jungle at maybe like 11 minutes, 45 seconds to 12 minutes is when you should rotate back into the jungle and start farming that in the lane. Also, pushing out this mid lane. Like, if you've just cleared a stack right here, and then mid lane's free because TA goes top, there's no reason for you not to pressure this tier 1 tower. Always prioritize the wave over jungle. So, there were a lot of things that you could have done that I really wish you had done rather than just sitting in the jungle for all this time. Because the game impact of it would have just been so much more. But, again, this is more of like a tiny thing, really. It's like it's not, but it is. Just going with your timings a little bit more efficiently. All right. Yeah, go for it.
Would you say that the like proper farming windows is after 10 minutes every 3 minutes? Because after 13 minutes, and you're gonna want to start either making a place somewhere or setting up for bounty runes. At 20 minutes, 15 is the next tier 2, I believe. So then that's farming that until around 18, where you're going to want to set up for 20-minute outposts and runes, start pushing maybe.
So
same thing with after 23 for the 25-minute items and the bounty runes.
Yeah, so for mid lane, it's a little bit more obscure, because it just really depends on who your hero is and what impact you need to be having around the game. Some mid heroes will just assume a farming role and take advantage of kind of hitting the same farming timings that the carries will. Carry is a little bit more liberal with when they want to be farming, because you want to time everything around like that 15-minute first item. And so to get that, you have to be a little bit more greedy, not necessarily rotating around like 5-10 minutes, but instead efficiently farming. Mid lane is a little bit differently. You want to make your rotations around those big objectives i.e. level 6, at 5 minutes 30 seconds into the game usually. Let's see, right around 10 minutes for bounty runes. Even like just going for power runes and making rotations, oftentimes if you're like a particularly good ganking hero like a Quap, you can just go as soon as you get like a 4-minute haste rune, or 4-minute double damage, or an arcane rune at 8 minutes into the game, or 6
Well,
minutes.
I'm saying just like general windows where it's like,
But who's it for, I guess, is what I'm asking. Like for carry or for mid laner?
for like the carry or the mid, like after 3 minutes after each like time marker, like 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25. Those next 3 minutes are like windows where if the team's not doing something, that's when you'd want to be like farming. Like if the team's not pushing a tower or pressuring an objective, that's when you'd want to be.
So
there's
preferably, since tier 1 items come out at 7 minutes, as a mid laner, you want to take a stack from 7 to 8 minutes 30 seconds-ish to 9 minutes-ish. So like 7 minutes to 9 minutes, you clear out the wave, hit jungle creeps. 9 minutes 30 seconds, you should be prepping around the bounty runes with your team and making a rotation back either mid for the 10 minutes 15 catapult, or top or bottom for the 10 minute 45 catapult. And then after that, you should look in an optimal perfect world, you should be taking a tower around that time and then rotating back to your lane or the jungle and farming between at that point like 12 minutes 30 seconds up until 14 minutes. And it's very, very similar after that until about I would say like once 15 minutes rolls around, you want to get your tier 2 items. Once like 20 minutes rolls around, that's when you really want to make like that next big rotation, get a smoke in for the 20-minute rotations on outposts, bounty runes, etc. And then 25 minutes, you want to like go for the bounty runes, secure them, and then rotate back into the jungle and kind of keep on getting items and stuff like that. So it depends. But really the biggest thing early on for mid laner is farm the jungle between jungle stacks, preferably 7 minutes between 9 minutes, and then make rotations around the big timings and play with your team around catapults. That's just a general rule of thumb. And then for carry, you want to ignore almost all of that, unless you're having like an amazing game and you can make rotations, or you have someone who's particularly good at wave clear. You just want to farm until about 14 minutes in, when you should hopefully have your first item, and then you can make a rotation around 15 with your team. Unless it's something that wants to hit harder item timings. Like, honestly, Naga Siren should have like diffusal around 15 minutes, or so it's like you can make a rotation around then if you want to, but it's like I prefer to just farm harder, hit like a 22 minute Manta diffusal, and then you can just do anything you want with your team. But for the most part, most carries are going to want to farm for that first item by 15 minutes, and that's when you make that big rotation. Anyways, after this, it's just kind of like snowbally for them. The next big thing that I could see is like 17-ish, I think? Yeah. So we're just going to skip ahead a little bit more. I don't really want to focus too much on this nitty-gritty stuff, because honestly this is all just a result from the lane. It's not necessarily like anything you can particularly help. This is just what happens when TA's fed and Void has a really free game.
Can you close the neutral shop? It's bothering me.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Forward. 15 minutes. Where did I mark? 17 minutes. Alright, so let's skip forward to 17 minutes.
We made a smoke play and got the lash.
Yeah, that's fine. Rotating, trying to go for those bounty runes bottom. Alright, so you've got this fantastic combo, but it's like you gotta play as a team and use it, honestly. And that's what I wrote down. Let's see, what is Lifestealer at right now? Lifestealer just got his item, so it's like it's not the best time to fight, honestly. He's got like no armor besides phase boots, so it's like, eesh. you don't really want to be put in this position of fighting. But, oh yeah, broom handle, that's good. Stick that on him. So, the biggest thing, when you see these heroes, like, knocking on your high ground, what can you change from this current position? What should you be doing? When you see all their heroes, you've got a wonderful combo, this Dream Coil into Snapfire stuff, into Underlord and Ember Spirit, kind of in between all of it. What can you do differently in this particular situation?
Use Ares into that TA.
I don't know about that. Yeah, TA has
Oh, he
Aegis.
had Aegis. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Then probably just Firestone and use ability to clean the waves.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I mean, they're sort of clumped up, so we could have maybe. I don't know if we had a smoke, but we could have tried to.
You've only used one
smoke.
this game, so you definitely did.
They're like clumped up their backline, so we could have just used the coil on the backline.
Right.
And just immediately
So,
jumped them.
not even necessarily the backline, but it's like if you catch 3 people in a coil plus Snapfire ultimate, like, that's huge. As long as you take other people down while you're taking down this Aegis, you could definitely take this fight. But, like, all of this maneuvering right here, one of the biggest advantages to high ground is a vision advantage, correct? So, when you're on this high ground, you should have complete control over what happens in a perfect world. One of the things to gain a better vision advantage is to smoke. It really helps you get off these combos, especially when you don't have like mobility items like that Force Staff or the Blink Dagger, etc. So that you can just get off your coil, and then your team can just sit back. Because like Snapfire doesn't want to be anywhere near the front lines right now. You want to kind of position around these like tier 4s at like in a preferable world. Get the coil off, get this Underlord up front using Firestorm, etc. Much easier to do if you guys are just smoked up. You have that extra move speed. They can't initiate on you. They can't go on you. They can't see you. And it just enables you much better. So instead of this walking around like this, I would say grab a smoke and just get on top of them.
I think we were just wary of like the faceless from like just jumping in and ulting and then following
Sure,
up with
but I mean,
the
as long as
ETL.
you guys space out correctly and don't get caught by the ET, Snapfire isn't frontlining. It shouldn't be an issue, right? I mean, like in this particular situation right here, Puck kind of pushed out this middle wave, and then everyone else grouped up just for a big 3-man stomp. And no, like, I mean, you just don't want to do that. There's no reason for Snapfire to be this far positioned up. There's no reason for Puck to be out here. Everyone wasn't smoked, and like, it's fine if the Ember Spirit's up here, especially with the Lifestealer in. Makes it incredibly hard to burst down. Underlord should 100% be frontline, but Snapfire is completely out of position. Puck is completely out of position, and nobody uses. Look at this. It's a 4-man ulti. And if instead of just buying back and being way out of position here, you were at the tier 4s, able to immediately use your Mortimer's Kisses and everything else, that's huge. Maybe you stun them all up instead of Underlord dying, he's able to stay on top of them. Like this all doesn't whiff, but it needs to be used cohesively, basically. So again, part of that is just using a smoke to get your combo off. And another part of that is making sure that you're always in position to use your spells efficiently, which just didn't happen. And at this point in the game, if you don't have a perfect team fight, you just lose. And so that's what happened. So there were a lot of things that definitely could have been done better. But I feel like, unfortunately, 99% of it was just in the laning phase. And that's just something you guys have to work on constantly. Alright. So the Drexel one versus NEXT, this one I thought you guys played phenomenally. I mean, I didn't even really want to go over it just because you guys played so well this game. I just wanted to tell you guys I was really proud of this. I thought you guys were hitting your rotations perfectly. The laning phase went really well. And I didn't really see any issues with itemizing.
Oh, that's right, Deb. You're just here to tell us everything we do wrong.
No. I mean, I don't just want to be that bad guy. I thought you guys played phenomenally this game. The next one was like, what the hell are you guys doing? But I think most of you guys probably should have seen the stream. I don't know if you did or not. But I think I really just went over it more than that. I just wanted to say you guys played really, really well, and I was proud of you for this game. Yeah, rotations were on point. Everyone was like just going after the bounty runes and the outposts constantly at the right times. And you just completely outmaneuvered them in this game. Just really well done. Alright. Yeah, this next one, though, this was the one that got thrown away. And I don't really want to repeat myself a whole lot, but just, like, kind of understand. I think everyone needs to focus on their roles. Even if it's, like, a bad lane, per se, like Kunkka into Bloodseeker, which I don't really think is that bad. Even if it's a bad lane, I don't think you should really be rotating, because what that does is, like, it throws your whole mindset out of whack, right? Because now the Lone Druid has to rotate like a mid, and I feel like you don't really understand that position as well as you do the carry's job, and Kunkka has to perform the carry's job more so than the mids, and it makes everything super messy when you have to worry about, or when you should be worrying about different timings and different mindsets, but you don't play them. And so it just makes these games harder than it really should be. Yeah, this one was just really, really messy, I think. And there were... If I were to go over this one in particular, I feel like I'd just be repeating myself over and over again because your rotations were completely off. I didn't see any effort to really go for the bounties or the outposts this game. Like, it was just a complete 180 from the game before that. That's why you guys lost it. I'm not really going to do anything more. I'd rather get into the pro game so I can show you some really cool examples of stuff that we can be doing a little bit differently. So as you guys are already aware, obviously from that one Ember game, is that Troll Oracle is a disgusting combination. Right?
5 seconds.
Yes.
Troll Oracle is absolutely, completely, 100% busted. It makes Troll go from looking like an okay hero to like, how the fuck do we deal with this? Like, it's just impossible. And that's kind of exactly what it was in this particular game. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit from the drafting perspective. Let's go. Damn it, I wish we'd see the heroes. I'm just going to have to 16 times this. Okay, so in this particular game, what you'll notice, I think these teams are pretty comfortable playing against each other, and they know exactly what it is that they're like going to go for. So what you're going to be seeing a lot more of is like comfort bans, basically. Morphling, AA, Rubik, Huskar, especially. I wanted to talk about this first thing though, the Void Spirit pickup. Now, with these first 4 picks in mind, what is it about the Huskar ban that makes you think, okay, OG really don't want to deal with like a first pick Huskar? What does that tell you about their draft?
It's really mid-dependent.
Yes, it has a lot to do with their mid. They're picking a mid that gets hard countered by Huskar. Basically is what I see right off the bat. But then, if they're first phase banning something like a Huskar, to me that says, okay, well, they're going to be picking up an early mid. Because they want to ban things that, like, just can't play into Huskar. Excuse me. Can't play into Huskar. So if I see this Huskar first ban, I'm thinking things like TA, or Ember Spirit, or Void Spirit, or even like Meepo or something like that. So that's just something that you should really be keeping in mind. As soon as I see these first 2 picks on OG, I'm thinking, okay, this is mid-Void Spirit. It has to be. They banned out the Huskar, like, there's no reason for them to do that, and then pick Void Spirit if Void Spirit's going to be going offlane or carry. Like, or whatever they play off or as Void Spirit these days. So instantly off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, they pick Void Spirit mid. So to me, right now, this draft looks more like focusing on combinations and just heroes that are stupidly, disgustingly strong, rather than like, aha, got you picks. So they're going for like some serious, real like team cohesiveness, and then just relying on being able to outplay the lane in the event that it's not something impossible like Huskar into Void Spirit. So we see Troll Warlord picked up. Snapfire obviously is like first ban material, so that has to come first. I think it's still like right around that tier, even after the last kind of volley of nerfs. Like Snapfire is just a disgusting utility hero. I absolutely detest playing against it, and I think everyone else does too. It's just completely overpowered. Still first pick, first ban. But then this combination, this Troll Warlord Oracle, this game is from a couple of weeks ago, so this is before like it was a really known and well played combo. But I just, yeah, at this point, like, this is a priority combination to have in practice, is Troll Warlord Oracle, because it's just, it looks ridiculous in the right hands. So let's see, what else would you particularly think? So shoot, I'm gonna have to go back over this now, unless I can see. Okay, so look at the bans. Look at what bans are right here. I don't think this is... Oh, this is invisible, damn it. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, instead of the Puck 4, what else do you think Radiant could have picked up here?
Silencer.
Silencer? Yeah. That could be one.
Wyvern's still technically in the pool.
Wyvern, I'm not too keen on, especially into like Snapfire and Void. Invoker, maybe. Invoker definitely could have been one.
They've got a lot of stuff that Invoker can either purge off or just really disrupt their team fight combo.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Invoker could have been one. Anything else? Can anyone think of? Ah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. Who said it? Sorry, say it one more time loud.
That's me.
Yeah, Zach. Nice.
Nyx,
Good shit.
yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. Yeah, I think this was a real missed opportunity for Nyx, honestly. I mean, look at their draft. Troll Warlord gets pretty dumpstered by Nyx because he's not nearly as like unpredictable as before. Snapfire gets completely countered by Nyx. Void Spirit too. Like, until you really get that Orchid or something, like, Nyx just destroys Void Spirit. Yeah, I think Nyx was definitely something they should have considered. Not really, I guess, but again, like, so to me, the reason why they didn't go for Nyx and opted for the Puck is that they probably felt like, okay, the combination with the Magnus is definitely more reliable than the Nyx. If you can get like a good Dream Coil off,
Yo,
then...
What is this Mars on?
Oh, dude, he's flying. There he goes.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, replay bugs. Yay.
New Mars taunt.
But yeah, just look at
What about picking up a Reezer instead of the Lifestealer, though?
That could have worked. I don't really particularly like Razor into Snapfire Void Spirit. I think he just suffers way too much against it. I think this was pre like super nerfs to Lifestealer 2, so I think that hero was still definitely viable. But yeah, I think the Troll Warlord is just so good into Lifestealer 2. I think OG definitely outdrafted them. No doubt about it. OG 100%.
Well, no, I think
outdrafted
they picked Lifestealer into Troll.
Right, which is like, I've seen it. I've seen the matchup definitely go both ways. If Troll has a really, really bad lane, and Lifestealer can get ahead, then you can just run down towers. But it's like, the downside is if you're even or Troll has a really free lane, like, it just feels really, really bad. So I think Radiant were more counting on the idea that this top lane wouldn't get completely dumpstered, and that's not really what happened. So that's another reason, I guess, to pick up the puck instead of the Nyx, or anything else really, is that you just want to be able to have a lane presence early on that can win the lane. So there's an argument to be made definitely for everything that we kind of went over, but this is what they went with. Obviously, they're better than anyone in this room. So it's more, I would say, important to kind of look at what they're doing and understand it. Alright, so mid lane. Let's see, 1 minute in. Oh, this was really cool too, actually. So picking the bounty hunter into Nyx, I thought this was just really, really strange. Because like at first look at OG, they don't really have any frontliner, right? I mean, you look at the Dyer's, or I'm sorry, the Radiant side. They've got a Mars, they've got Magnus, they've got Lifestealer. Like that's all that they have. Like you'd think that this is a really solid team fight lineup, honestly. Like this is like a standard, super tanky, very run at you team fight oriented lineup where it's like 99 pubs, I would say, out of 100, this Radiant team is gonna win. And then like OG just don't have any kind of frontliner. But can anyone tell me why they would be picking like a bounty hunter into this Nyx?
They literally just picked the bounty hunter, so you could just right-click the Nyx, so that after the laning stage, the Nyx can't get like that super far ahead kind of
Sure.
like lead you were talking about.
But now, what is insane to me, what I didn't know, bounty hunter has 7 armor starting. And what's Nyx really, really bad against? Super high armor heroes early on. And agility carries to some extent, like PA. I think Lifestealer just feels terrible into PA. And Troll Warlord, 9 times out of 10. But the reasoning behind this, and it's a crazy pick, I honestly don't even understand it very much, is just the Janata slowing down this Lifestealer, making sure that the Troll can have better timings to play around than he does, and the ridiculous amount of armor and the ability to essentially trade with him on a time schedule, the Janata cooldown. Later on, this lane just gets super hard for Lifestealer because of how low cooldown it is. And it's such a weird pick, but it just goes to show you that, like, this is creativity in Dota. OG are fucking masters of it. They do some insane stuff that ends up working out. And really, what it shows me is that it can work out. Like, you can go against these quote-unquote meta teams that are picking everything right, that are getting, like, the team that they really want to, and beat them. If A, you play well, and B, you think out of the box. So, that to me was super, super cool. Alright, let's rewind a little bit. Alright, so first thing that you can see this guy does, secures the range creep with the spells. Same thing with him. You can see what he tried to do. He tried to last hit it with the Aether Remnant, but he missed. But every single person at high level is going to be doing this. And you should too. It's this always getting these early range creeps at any cost. It doesn't matter, because if you get them, what it does, you get an earlier bottle. You deny the gold from a deny from them. You get a lot more experience. You stay either on par or ahead of them. If you secure these range creeps and they don't, it's lane winning. That's all it is. And that's why you see all of these people, no matter who it is, what they will do is use all of their spells as efficiently as possible to A, harass, and B, secure these range creeps over here. Boom. He went for it, but that was a really, really cool pull from him, pulling off the aggression so that he missed it. But he still went for it, and that's definitely what you guys should be doing. In every single lane, doesn't matter. Now, let's see. Okay. What is this Puck's early game build? Do you see this? Bassi. Yeah. Why would he go Bassi?
Good mana regen for the Mars so he can keep spears up. Good for himself for more orbs just throwing out.
Totally correct. Both these heroes in this lane rely super heavily on spamming out their spells. Especially when you want to pressure something like an Oracle. you're very, very dependent on, am I able to cast spells and get as much damage on him as possible before you can just sit back and heal up? Because this Oracle has a very similar build too. He knows that he can heal up if he positions correctly, gets clarities, gets the Ring of Bassi, and it's good for the Troll as well because he can just toss out the Whirling Axes constantly, not really feel pressured as far as mana goes. So this is a really cool example of versatile build from these guys. Both of them, really, going the early Bassi when you have two heroes in a lane that really want to use spells. This is a good example of when to go for an early Bassi, honestly. So, just wanted to cover that. What else? So this particular game I thought was very, very slow paced for the most part. Not a whole lot of kills, just very small skirmishes. Void Spirit in particular, though, is the one making rotations happen constantly. Just hitting particular timings and going for them, making rotations happen whenever they do happen. So let's see, when's the first one? Yeah, so part of the reasoning why this game in particular is so slow paced from both teams is that both of them have these heroes that just want to do nothing but farm early on. Troll Warlord definitely wants to farm up his first couple of items before making anything happen, usually. And Lifestealer is much in the same way. So when you have these two passive lanes like this, and mid lane, again, Magnus just wants to farm, Void Spirit really should just be the one making things happen. And he does. So let's see. Let's skip forward a little bit. Because again... Oh, that was... oh, so this is really funny. He definitely misplayed this one really hard. But it's like...
He's going.
He got so greedy for that. That was kind of funny to me. Like, and the puck just max range orb snipes him. But anyways, so there was the attempt made, I guess, from the mid lane to rotate and get this bounty run,
That
which
stops
is
not being able to count.
right. Yeah, totally. Hit it? No. So yeah, he has this understanding, well, okay, I'm not really going to make anything happen until I have, like, Astral Step or anything else, so... What does he do? Farm the lane. Same thing as everyone else, just very, very passive, very boring game up until this point. But, I mean, everyone really understands their job. Magnus understands he just has to farm, Lifesteal has to farm, Troll has to farm, and everyone can. That's the most really important thing.
I mean, if you look at the lineup for NIP Radiant, they don't really have an early like rotation. Like the
Not
puck,
either.
it doesn't have any lockdown.
Puck,
They have an
yeah.
IO, so they can't gank mid because like the only like the damage output wouldn't be very much against the Void Spirit because he can just Astral Step away.
So first rotation coming out is going to be the Void Spirit. This is the only hero basically with reliable, somewhat reliable CC. Early on.
Snapfire also could rotate.
Yeah, but it's like you really want to be in lane with the Bounty Hunter, honestly. And then doesn't see any opportunity to make things happen, walks right back to the lane, gets a haste rune, and now it's go time. So, playing around these runes is super important because it enables you, really. But, like you saw, same thing. Mid laner has RP up, is able to make a similar rotation, has a little bit more impact than he does. So let's skip ahead a little bit more. So, 9 minutes in, he's playing in this lane. A little bit early, but I mean, what you gonna do?
Even the Troll rotates down bottom.
Yep. It's this entire team that's just playing around this timing. I mean, I guess it's just Troll's understanding of, okay, they just hit 6 on Mars, there's kill potential now, like, don't really want to be here in that lane. So, what does he do? Rotates down bottom, goes for the big rotation with his entire team. Totally fine. That's like, maybe it's not necessarily what I would do, but I mean, it's just showing you this is totally valid as long as you're playing around these timings. If you want to rotate to a free lane, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like OG rotated everyone bottom, whereas Nip was sort of split. Like, the Mars and Puck were still top, but Lifestealer and Mag
Lifestealer
were
got,
mid.
yeah. So, yep. And then what's the next rotation after you take this tower? Trying to go here with the catapult. Didn't work out necessarily with the catapult timing because he was able to clear it, but team makes a rotation in. While this guy's farming, and this is now the dead lane because Mars is 6. So they're going to try and keep an eye on where the Mars is. Don't necessarily see it. Putting pressure on this tower though, making sure that they don't overextend. And that's it. So let's look at 12:30. Thompson's style of play is like so interesting to me because it's just hyper aggressive. He never takes, like, this time right now, this 11 minutes-ish period, I would 100% be farming. Like, but
Can you pull up the net worth?
Yeah, I was going to ask Sam.
yeah, it's Mag on top, which to be expected. Free Battle Fury early on and all. But so as far as mid lane goes, I just think he plays so strangely. It's like it's basically the against everything that you would normally expect from a mid laner. Like, he doesn't want to farm, and he does this on like every single hero too. He just tries to constantly look for kills. Doesn't hit these jungle creeps like at all. And he gets them.
I mean, what gives more gold? Creeps or heroes?
Yeah, right. It's just such an aggressive style of play. Like,
I mean,
he's the playmaker though this game. Yeah, and he's assuming the role. He can't farm. He's not gonna out farm a troll. I'm sorry, a lifestealer Magnus. Like, there's no way. So what do you do in this position? Well, while your troll is trying to get all of the farm that he can, go kill people. It's just, it's such cool play.
I mean, he's sitting at now 80 CS at 13 minutes.
CS. Yeah.
I mean, he's above the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Only
still
behind
doing
the
well.
Magnus.
Still doing
I think
well,
it's
by
more
all
so
means.
he doesn't farm jungle, but he's constantly farming lanes. So because of
Absolutely.
these rotations, he's farming the lanes more rather than jungle creeps, leaving that more for the troll, because it's safer for the troll to farm jungle than it is in the lane. And because
Sure.
Void Spirit has the natural escape, he's able to get out, so he can farm the riskier lanes.
Which, I mean, he makes mistakes, sure. Like, I think this one in particular, I want to talk out. Oh, no. I mean, obviously he makes mistakes with how aggressive he's being. He gets completely punished, but, like, man, just the play itself is impressive to me. Like, it's just not anything you'd ever really consider. Any normal person. Yeah, that's fine. Puck trading her life basically for the troll, just to kill secure. Cores are all still alive. Yeah, so I mean, Radiant's doing just fine, honestly. Really cool mechanics thing that I saw though from Thompson. Oh my gosh, right around this point here, 15 minutes I think. Okay, A. Void Spirit is not an agi hero, right? At all.
Sure.
Why does he swap to agi treads here? Can anyone tell me?
Attack speed.
Attack speed.
Yes, exactly. He understands that, okay, when he's using Astral Step, it doesn't matter. You want to have as much damage as you can, but then afterwards, the damage isn't going to make any difference. He swaps for the attack speed afterwards just to finish the creeps as humanly fast as possible.
He's also bottling efficiency.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he could be a little bit more efficient, I guess, dropping the null talismans or swapping them out.
Yeah, but then he loses damage. He's farming the jungle camp.
Yeah, and he gets to full anyways.
Tower is under attack.
So, even right here, even though he has like a bounty hunter around this area, so he's feeling somewhat confident enough to go up onto this hill. I don't think he has any vision. Let me see.
Well, you can see that I don't have
no
any
vision
wards
whatsoever. Look what he does. He swaps it over to power treads before he comes up here, just to anticipate in anticipation of any kind of aggression. Swaps to become as tanky as he possibly can to make this play. Afterwards, boom, right back to farming efficiently again. I love this. It's just ultra efficiency. It's so cool to see to me.
If he was being really efficient, he would have swapped back to Agi for the extra move speed.
Right. The extra +1 move speed. So this is really cool, I think, to me. Just Agi when it's safe to swap to Agi to go slightly faster, again with the bonus move speed as well. Strength treads when he's going into any dangerous territory whatsoever.
There's the move speed.
As soon as he feels like he needs it, as soon as he feels like it's super dangerous, he swaps over to strength treads. And then int as soon as he wants to cast spells, and back to Agi right after he wants to start right-clicking. So, 1620, I believe, is going to be like a pretty big team fight coming up. Gets gone on right here. I want to slow this down just a little bit. Alright, so now right here, he's got both these guys tracked. He's got a lifestealer in front of him, but I want to talk about target acquisition. And this is so important to do in every single team fight, even in lane and everything, is picking out a target to go on and picking out who's most important to blow up. That's one. Who's the other one that you think that he should go on in this particular situation? Puck, Io. Perfect. Every single team fight, he never, ever, ever goes on these super strength tanky heroes. Always targets out the Puck and the Io first. Because Puck silences him, coils him, makes it very difficult to do Void Spirit things, and Io basically makes his cores just about invincible if he doesn't get gone on. So, every single team fight, he's going on this Puck and Io. And I just wanted to highlight this. Puck doesn't even have a chance to do anything. Just gets completely destroyed. And then, as soon as he can, combos up his Astral Step to last hit the Puck and go on the Io at the same time. Just absolutely incredible target acquisition. Incredible game sense and knowing how to use his spells. This guy is like, I mean, there's a reason why he's won 2 TIs. And this is something that you guys can take and apply to all of your games. It's just perfect target acquisition, and it shows you just how potent that is. When you can...
There it is again, the move speed. The 2 move speed.
Planning on casting a spell. Now he's going back to right-clicking. I mean, yeah, just constantly aware of this. It's amazing how many things are going through his head at once that I can see. I can't even imagine actually being him. But that's what you have to do if you want to be the best at Dota, basically. Is look at this guy. Look at all the tiny little things that he's doing to make everything as efficient as humanly possible. That's how you become the best player in the world. That's the difference between him and someone who's ranked 100 overall. Just really super cool. Alright, let's skip forward ahead just a little bit. Over to
You're not going to
18.
comment that? You're not going to agree efficiency on those Agi treads for move speed?
Oh no, absolutely. I put that down even in my notes.
I'm going to add to the list I have over my desk. Efficiency.
Efficiency. Yeah, that's what high-level Dota is. It's being slightly more efficient and hitting your timings a couple of seconds faster than the opponents. Makes the difference between winning and losing. That's what it becomes, I should say. Early on, it's more about macro stuff. Later on, it becomes micro. This Oracle, I just, oh my god! God, did everyone see that? Did everyone see that Oracle? I'll even slow it down just so we can like see it again in 0.25. I just want to highlight this Oracle's play and how much impact a position 5 can have on the result of a game. It is unbelievable. Like, this guy is the dream to have on your entire team. No-tail. God, what a fucking flower.
Gives him the magic immunity so the coil won't hurt.
Pops it. No damage. And he was about to. He's priming it. Look at that. He's casting it over and over again in anticipation of the Magnus RP. As soon as he uses it, boom! Oh my fucking god, that's just so amazing to me. Like, just, what he's doing is absurd.
Positioning too. He's staying outside of everything.
Look at that. Look at the positioning. Just look at it. This is what I need from you. This is what, like, you need to be doing, for example, on the Snapfire. In that last team fight there early on. Understanding where you need to position, where you need to be to get off your spells. This guy does it perfectly on Oracle.
Wait, where is the Snapfire?
They're doing
Positioning
like a memer, basically. No, the Oracle is the one that I really want to focus on. This guy is the game winner right here. I mean, just absolutely insane what he is able to accomplish. And then it's like Thompson comboing up the bottle, and the magic one, I think he definitely lives here. Yeah. I mean, he's full HP now. He went from nothing right there. Just the Oracle enabled this entire thing. Went from like a sliver of HP and RP'd to full HP, turning the entire thing and making all of this happen afterwards. The Oracle is 100% enabling this, and he keeps doing it too. Just absolutely insane. Keeps using his spells as efficiently as possible, saves the troll, lets him get off his ultimate, gets a kill on the Lifestealer because of it. This is 100% the Oracle. There's nothing anyone else did that really was breathtaking besides this Oracle gameplay. And this is a position 5 winning the game right now, basically, around this 20-minute mark. It just unbelievable. So, actually, after this, I wanted to focus on the Radiant doing something correct.
No
Radiant,
coming up. Dagger.
I mean, positioning, right? He understands that, well, he doesn't need anything else, right? This last team fight, he understands that as long as he can stay in position, perfect position like he just did, get off all of his spells, that's all he needs. That's all he needs to win the game. So, what item can you do to better facilitate that? Blink Dagger. Position better. I mean, it's just incredible. This guy is unreal. So, 19 minutes in, I would say, as soon as this Lifestealer gets up, Radiant actually does the correct thing, and which is rotating with their team and getting kills, presumably in anticipation for this outpost and the bounty runes. So, 19 minutes in, they all group up as 5, which they absolutely should do, and go for this outpost. Yay! What does that do? Enables them to get experience, doesn't get it denied. You always want to make sure you at least get one of them. Perfectly correct. But then what I noticed afterwards, what are they not doing right now?
Chasing out. They're sitting on top of it.
Yes, they're sitting on top of the outpost so it doesn't get recaptured. But where...
Positioning themselves for bounty runes.
There we go. That's it. That's the answer I was looking for. Positioning for bounty runes. They're over here chasing a fucking Void Spirit with Magnus, Shockwave, and stuff. When, like, I mean, why? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. But I'm sure there was like a call out or something. But it's like, why wouldn't you be positioning for bounties happening right now? Why is this whole team here instead of down here? Right? I don't know. Let's see what their vision was. So they didn't have anything. No vision whatsoever besides this right here.
I guess they saw the... They
Ar-
had the Snapfire dead, but Snapfire was coming up. They still have the tier 1 tower bottom.
I still.
You only saw the Void Spirit, I think. So it's kind of... I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no RP.
questionable... It's questionable when you have spells on cooldown going down
And
onto the
everything
low
else,
ground,
though.
where they can bring people in. If you get caught out in a fight there, I mean...
True. I still think it's a misplay, honestly, not playing around this, because, I don't know. Even without RP, maybe it's stupid to go without RP, but even without RP, I wouldn't be super concerned, honestly, just as long as you have, like, a puck coil combo. But, yeah, that was, like, the one little thing that I think Radiant definitely did it right. They grouped up at 19 minutes after having a really kind of bad last 10 minutes. Grouped up as 5, made sure that they got one outpost right around this 20-minute mark. But yeah, they didn't go for bounties afterwards, which, I mean, whatever. So the other thing I wanted to talk about right around now, actually, let's get the fog out. What are Troll's items? Battle Fury and Yasha. This is a farming build, right? You see these items and you're just like, okay, I'm going for like 3 or 4 items before I really have any impact. Why is Troll fighting so much with his team instead of farming? Can anyone say it? Think. What enables him? What enables this Troll to fight reliably, even with these crappy items for fighting?
I mean, his team. He's got, like, the armlet, or not the medallion on the Void Spirit. You've got the Oracle to assist, which means that if he gets gone on, he just doesn't die.
Right.
I mean, you got the Snapfire, too. Like, you have all this save, all this, like...
So, you guys experience this combination, this Troll Oracle combo, and it felt pretty hard to play against. I want to highlight exactly how disgusting this can be. The entire reason why he's fighting constantly and able to and get away with it is because of the Oracle. That's why this hero shines so much. It's because you can reliably get your ultimate off. You can do 100 times more damage than you normally would, and just the save from Oracle, especially against teams with a lot of magic damage like the Mars, the Puck, and everything else. Because even Lifestealer, to some extent, he doesn't really have a whole lot of like physical damage unless he gets on top of you with Empower, and no one on their team really does. So the benefit to this is that as long as Oracle has like this Fate's Edict and False Promise, even just Fate's Edict is often enough to just keep this troll alive and keep him constantly fighting. It's just ridiculous how hard you can pressure with this particular combo, where it's like normally, okay, you go for this farming build, and I'd want to be farming up until like 25, 30 minutes with these items, but because of this Oracle pick, you have that potential to really play around timings with the rest of your team and just make ridiculous moves that I don't think are possible otherwise. It's literally, this is why the combo is so strong. It's not because like 30 minutes into the game you're gonna not be able to take a team fight and burst down a hero. No. It's because 15 minutes even before that and onward, you're getting your ass pushed in by a troll only because he has an Oracle behind him. And you can't do anything about it. That's why it's so strong. That's why it's absolutely busted and it's getting picked up so much. And this is how hard you can really destroy teams with it when you play it to its full potential. It's just really, really amazing to me to see. So let's see. Let's keep on moving. 2150. Oh, yeah, really cool Mars Puck interaction at 2150 that I saw. Oh, let's go. Is it already? Is it there? Okay. No, I don't think that was it. Okay, let's go a little bit further. So, focus down the Oracle. I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. Oh yeah, here, the spear. Boom. Don't even have to hit a tree. I thought that was really cool. It's kind of like a miniature skewer from the Magnus, basically. And that's part of the reason I think also that they picked up this combo of the Puck and the Mars is that you have a spammable, reliable way of getting people out of the coil. It's kind of like Vengeful Spirit, basically, except on a offlaner. So you've got like Magnus, you've got Mars, you've got Venge. Keep those heroes in mind when you're picking up Puck. I think Puck is still ridiculously strong. You should be picking her up. But there's more combos than just the Vengeful Spirit. As you can see, takes down Thompson with it. Just Spear of Mars from the Dream Coil. Really, really cool interaction that I noticed. And then what else? So all of this now, it's like, you notice OG aren't really playing as a unit throughout this entire time, but the thing is, in particular, around like this 22 minutes, it doesn't matter, really. Like, yeah, these kills are big, yeah, it's letting them back into the game, but like, what do they get from these kills? And in my opinion, it's like, not a whole lot. I mean, OG are kind of smoking up in anticipation that they're going to be pushing this tier 2 tower, but they don't even do that. They really don't have a whole lot of map pressure at all. And so it's like, this Radiant team doesn't get anything, and that's part of the reason I think why Dire plays so aggressively at this point. It's just Thompson's style, man. Like, if it were me, I'd be thinking, okay, right after the 20 minutes is when I want to be farming. What does he do? Pushes out lanes and goes to kill people. That's it. So then 23 minutes, there's going to be a big Roche fight happening. Alright, pause. Look at the positioning. Right? Snapfire's in the frickin' trees, way back here. Close enough to have impact. Close enough to use all of her stuff. Guardian Greaves, Fire Snap Cookie, Scatter Blast. Close enough to use all of her things effectively. Far enough that she's never, ever, 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 ever going to be targeted by them. Even if Puck kind of jaunts forward and uses all of her spells. Snapfire is never going to get caught here. Similar thing with Oracle. Oracle has to be a little bit closer just because of kind of the nature of his spells. Doesn't have an Aether Lens, but he has a Blink. So he's positioning back behind his entire team. And you can see Bounty Hunter's over here, making sure that they can't just walk up into Roche. He has vision of the front. Void Spirit has vision of the back. Neither of these heroes need to be hitting Roche. So, Oracle spamming out spells onto Sumail, keeping him up on the Troll Warlord, and Troll is just the one that's going at this Roshan. So, Puck comes forward, you see the orb forward, all of a sudden this isn't safe anymore. What does the Snapfire do? Moves further back. Same thing with the Oracle, same thing with the Void Spirit. They don't want to get caught out. So, as soon as they actually see what's going on, Radiant are going to try and initiate. Stop this Troll Warlord from getting the Roche. You kinda have to. Target priority. Who does the Mars go for?
Oracle!
Oracle! Perfect! Yes, because you don't want to go on this Troll Warlord, right? Even if you think you can burst him down, one false province from Oracle, it's all over. Your team fight's fucked. Mars sees the Oracle, blinks forward, focuses on him. It's just kind of a shame that he missed the combo a little bit, but just
Oracle blinked, or didn't Oracle blink out?
let's take this super slow so we can see everything that's happening. So they know he's in the Roche pit, everyone backs up, they see the orb forward, Snapfire starts moving, Bounty
Well,
Hunter's
they
still
have
in
the
the
bounty
front lane.
down there, so they see everything
Right.
about the orb.
Those misses. So hang on, let's see.
Did he miss or did he cancel it?
Radiance Fog. So Radiance sees up to here. Boom! Oracle comes into vision. Still has it. Mars flanks forward.
Yeah. he
There you
blinks
go.
out of it.
Okay, well, yep, just fucking incredible reaction speeds from the Oracle. I mean, I didn't even see that, but that's the reason why he didn't get caught in the Mars ultis. He literally blinked out. It's kind of a shame that he got hit by the spear still. That was avoidable, but I mean, just incredible reaction times, honestly, from this guy. So, let's go back to this. So, what do we see in this particular situation? Bounty Hunter Over here. Onto the Wisp. Everyone else is focusing the Troll Warlord, trying to get him down because of how low he was. Mars goes on the Oracle. This is just, it's target priority at its finest. Lifestealer understands he's the only person that can right-click this Troll Warlord reliably. Pops Rage, goes right on him.
Oh, No-Tail disarmed Roche.
Yep, that was probably a misclick, honestly.
Or an intentional click, because Troll's closest to Roche.
I think he was trying to go for Troll, but missed it.
You already got it on Troll. You got 2 off.
Oh, look at that. The Snapfire uses his stuff on him, and then just in the nick of time, Troll's able to get off his ultimate because of the False Promise. It's amazing. Thompson's blinking forward. This guy's still going on the Oracle because, hey, guess what? That's his job. Even if he wasn't able to nuke him down in time, like, he's still going for it. Just unbelievable, honestly. Just how good these guys are at, like, at just everything that they're doing. Really. Thompson, who does he go on first?
Wisp.
Goes on the IO. Prioritizes it immediately. Snapfire blows him up. I think he ends up going down. Yeah. Because they blink forward on him. Didn't expect it, but... I mean, still
Echo Saber
just...
Mag.
That was kind of clever from him. Didn't have anyone to right-click, so in order to get back up to full HP, just open wounds the creeps. So I mean, all said and done.
Can you purge Fate's Edict? With
Purge Fate's Edict.
Oracle's Q?
Which one? Yes, you can.
Can you? So you can Fate's Edict heal and then purge
It
Fate's
off.
Edict
Yes,
with the Q?
correct. Yes. You can
Not
also,
good.
I believe, you can also purge it off with False Promise. I believe, yeah, Dispel type, Strong Dispel. I think you can also purge Fate's Edict with False Promise. I'd have to test that out though, but you can definitely
I have
do
to
it with
imagine
Fortune
it would
Set.
purge it with the False Promise, right? Because it's a stronger dispel.
Right. Okay.
Hopefully, that's how that works.
So yeah. So I mean, all said and done, not amazing for either team.
I mean, this bounty hunter is just coming in and out, poking people, harassing
Oh my god!
them,
And,
like
like
constantly.
right here, I couldn't believe that Thompson still lived here. Honestly, like look at how aggressive he's going. He's just going straight for that puck, and even though he doesn't get him, like I don't know how he survives through all
the Solar
this
Crest.
crap.
It's the Solar Crest.
Just unbelievable. Just the aggression from this guy. Like and he knows he can get away with it too. In part, it's because of his supports, and the other part is just he has a god tier sense of the game. But it's like, I mean, look at this. It's against everything I've ever told you guys, and they still get away with it. Just because his supports are positioning correctly. Supports don't walk up high ground unless they have to. He dove forward, and then Oracle came around the top. Snapfire was still kind of in the river. Bounty Hunter was over here. So
what vision does the Radiant have of the
everything? They got everything.
They have sense down?
Doesn't look like it. 1 off by Roche. That's it though.
Okay, because I mean the Bounty Hunter was sitting back on like the Bounty Rune when they were charging uphill. Like the Bounty Hunter was giving them
rewind it.
vision.
I want to watch that again. Honestly, it's just such a cool play.
I mean, I think they felt like Thompson was going fucking crazy going up there by
Thompson's
himself.
insane. I literally this is one of the few players where it's just like I have no idea what he's doing on any given basis.
Oh,
Like,
I think he was trying to get out, and then he walked into them, and sort of just.
he was
kept
literally
walking
just
into
aiming
them.
for the puck this entire time. He was literally just trying to hunt the puck. He knew what his job was. It's to hunt the IO, hunt the puck. Killed the IO. He just full fucking tunnel visions onto the puck immediately afterwards. And I don't understand how it's like they can just go high ground like this and not get completely punished. It's insane
I
to
mean,
me.
they have the numbers advantage.
It was 4-4.
Now it's a now it's then it
Now
was
it's
a 4 on
3.
3.
Now it's a
They
4 on
killed the
3.
Mars.
They got the Mars. They fucking dove high ground with no vision and still got something out of it. Like, ugh. It's just I don't understand them at all.
What a smoke play! Smoking immediately after the other team disengages.
Okay, God, this guy is just unbelievable. I don't even think he planned this. Maybe he did, but it's like he's playing in front of his remnant so that puck he can't just get skewered back into nothing. Like literally, look at this. He doesn't even care if he gets fucking coiled because he knows. I'm just completely at a loss. Whenever I see this player, it's just amazing the impact he has, how much he's baiting out, like, just the effect of his spells is absolutely absurd. Sees the Isle, goes for the Isle, like, oh my god, and then the Oracle. Just everyone, if you notice these top tier teams, everyone knows what their job is, everyone knows where their spells are supposed to be going and who they're supposed to be directed at, and the thing is, they also think about the enemy's spells. This Oracle, time and time again, has seen and waited for a Mag RP just to use False Promise. Doesn't even use it until then, even though it looks like his core's about to die. Knows that he can save it. It's just unbelievable how well-versed these guys are and how strong they are at playing their positions and playing their heroes. So, let's see. 25 minutes. OG's just completely out-fighting them. Like, I guess that's the playstyle that you have to play, though, when you don't have any dedicated frontliner. You just need these constant skirmishes. That's how they play it. They don't draft someone who can just take a bunch of damage, so what's their answer? They just have these constant skirmishes over and over and over again, kind of outlasting the enemy team, able to poke away at their supports, and then poke at their cores afterwards. And it works for them. Like, it's absolutely absurd, but it's like, okay, if you're not going to draft in the meta, you got to think about how to play around it. This is how to do it. This is how OG are doing it. They're just, instead of head-on fighting them and, like, pushing everything all in at once, they outlast them. They force out spells, bait them out with False Promise, essentially, to follow up right afterwards, and just completely outplay them, out-rotate them. It's amazing. Just the poking that they do, the target acquisition they have, and then the pressure that they can apply afterwards because of it. It just completely mind-blowing to me. And you guys should 100% be taking advantage of that. So, 27 minutes. We'll skip ahead a little bit. I want to finish up this game because we are going a little bit over time, but I figure that's okay since we missed the last couple of sessions. 27 minutes. Now, what are they doing that, let's see, a month ago or 2 months ago, you would not see this play happen, but what are they doing now?
Pressuring for Rex.
Absolutely. So instead of just backing off immediately after the tier 3, that's no longer enough. That's no longer the objective for them, because tier 3 doesn't give you anything anymore. You don't have any shrines to take, you don't have any map control to be had that's more so afterwards. So what's the next thing that you can go for? What's the next thing that you can really pressure and really take an advantage around the map with? Rax. What does he do? Doesn't stop hitting buildings until he gets one. Look at the positioning of that remnant too. Right behind this guy so he can't get skewered back. Just every single person. It's just so well versed on the mechanics of every single hero in this game and what they have to do. It's mind-blowing every single time, over and over again. So, as soon as they get a Rax though, that's when the team makes the call to back out. So no longer are you just getting a tier 3 and going. If you have the capability of pressuring high ground, don't stop at the tier 3. Get at least one Rax, and then you can back off. Because now you have pressure coming in from this bottom lane. You've got the creeps that are going to be super creeps now. You can focus on something else. Instantly ping out mid. That's where they're going to go. Their shot caller is telling them, okay, we got a Rax. We got what we needed now. Focus on the next objective. Focus on the next most important thing that we can get. They could go for a ranged Rax, sure. But they don't. They go for the next most important thing because they've already accomplished what they needed to in this lane. So, mid lane. Then 27:59. So, kind of similar to what happened in your guys' last game, this is an issue with the Radiant. So we're going to watch from their perspective. 2759. Similar to when the puck went in with the Snapfire dive backing and not really being in position to make everything happen. Same thing with everyone else. Pro teams make the same mistake all the time. So you're going to see this happens. What does Mars do? Actually, rather than focusing on what he did, what didn't Mars do?
Looks like he only called the Void Spirit in the arena.
And what's his job?
Focused on the support.
Right. So Mars is out here with absolutely no follow-up. His team's super out of position. Mag is all the way out here. The IO's getting just totally wrecked by the Troll Warlord, and Puck is also out of position after doing that. I think this is miscommunication, honestly. They have no initiation now, and no reason to be doing this. They didn't see, I want to say, the Oracle. Yeah, they had no vision of the Oracle at all. None whatsoever. And he still blinks in. So, just same thing that happened in your game. Game's over because of one bad team fight. This is what happens when you don't make use of your superior vision on high ground. You lose a bad team fight, you get split up, you don't use your skills correctly, and, you know, it happens. At all levels, not just yours. I mean, NIP is not a bad team at all. But they just get outplayed. That's pretty much all there is to it.
I'm waiting for the big RP push into...
Never happens.
Content.
Literally
Mars
just
all.
never happens. Because, I mean, just their positioning. It's literally just because of their positioning. They just never give them an opportunity to get a really, really good RP off. They know Troll is like... I mean, Troll is huge. He's got an Abyssal, he's got Aegis, he's got Paladin Sword, he's got an Oracle sitting behind him. He can just do whatever he wants, go wherever he wants. What does the rest of the team do? Not sit next to him. That's all they have to do. They just don't want to be next to the Troll. And as long as they're not, then NIP can't go on the Troll. Alright, so I want to... Look at how spaced out they are. They're not just preparing for the RP, they're preparing for like a blink skewer into RP. So that Mag can't just blink all the way out here and skewer the Void Spirit into the Troll. It just... Look at this positioning. It's beautiful. The Bounty Hunter is probably way out in nowhere land, so I don't know what he's doing. But like, the entire team right now... I'm going to slow this down too. Let's go to about 50. Look at how OG is taking a team fight compared to these guys. Right? Where are they positioned? Snapfire's way out in the back, but still in range to get off a Fire Snap Cookie or something if she really needs to. Oracle, same thing. Behind every single one of his cores, sitting back here, but still in range with that Aether Lens to get off any kind of skills he needs. And then now that he has the cast range, he's saving the Blink Dagger for defensive purpose. And just, the RP's never going to come. It can't happen. There's no opportunity given by this team because of this positioning, this incredible positioning when sieging. Nothing they can do. They can cast out spells, but you're just going to get healed up. Just amazing. Completely flawless. Everyone's covering Oracle. The Troll is pressuring all of the objectives, threatening to end the game. Oracle's spamming his spells on him over and over and over again. Even precasting the Purifying Flames is important, because as long as all of this is happening, if he casts his ult, like if there's an emergency, they decide to blow everything on the Troll, he just casts his ult on him and he goes back up to full HP because he's got like 4 Purifying Flames on him. It's not the fact that like he gets any extra HP. He does. It's only like 30 or 40 extra heal, I believe. Barely, even if that. But it's more the fact that he's just preparing for a false promise by having all of those extra purifying flames on him. Just incredible usage from him of his skills. What are they gonna do? RP. So the Magnus tried to get the Oracle and the Troll together, but missed it because he positioned well. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Nothing else you can do. This is just, if you ever want a reference to positioning on these heroes or how to cast your spells, oh my god, OG does it perfectly. I can't think of anything they could do better, honestly. So, that's pretty much the lesson for today. As far as, you know, all these rotations go, giving you examples of combinations and how to use your skills. Target acquisition is a huge one. I really want to focus a little bit more on that, like giving you more examples of if this hero's in the game and you're playing this, this is your job. Lelis understood that on Mars he had to initiate with that Blink arena, and he tried to go for the Oracle as much as he could. Sometimes he found him, sometimes he didn't, but he definitely did his job as best that he could. But everyone else on OG just did their job better. Thompson constantly singled out all of those supports, the heroes that you could blow up first. Again, just like that EG game that we went over, you never see these players busting all of their skills on the first person they see. They save them. They look for the most optimal person to go on, and that's who they end up going on every single time. So with that, I'm pretty much done with all my prep. Does anyone have any questions or things that they want to talk about?
I don't think I have anything. Just focus on positioning.
Absolutely.
And using abilities on ranged creeps.
Yep. No, and that's definitely, you don't have to like consider all of this like in your next few games. Just take a couple of things, honestly, that I'm saying. Focus on like one or two things that you can really use to improve your gameplay. And then once you feel like you've got a good grasp on that, once your concepts of it start to improve, come back, watch the VOD again, kind of skip through it, look for another thing, or go through your notes and focus on that next thing. Focus on another thing after that. Just slow and steady is all I'm expecting from you guys. I'm not expecting you to get like these millisecond blink aways on from No Tail's Oracle so that he survives when he should have died. Like, I'm not expecting you to become tier 1 players immediately. I would love to see your rotations getting better, picking up some better drafts, really playing to your potential. And I think we've definitely seen it. You guys have played amazingly in some of your games. Definitely started taking games that you absolutely had no business winning. And I'm very, very proud of you. I want to continue to see these small improvements over and over again from you guys. I think that's what's most important. So by all means, don't worry about focusing on all of this. Take a couple of small things that you see and implement it in your games. And I promise you, you will start to improve, even if you're not focusing on the grand scheme of things. So that's pretty much it. Anything else?
I think that's it. Sounds good.
All right. What is the schedule for this next week for you guys? Are you playing more AD2L matches?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I believe we have 3 more weeks of it. So that should be until
I can pull up the website.
yeah, basically through April 1st. It'll be A22L.
So they haven't released the matches for the next week, which they should tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll find out then. As far as that goes,
it's
sorry,
6 weeks and we're halfway through. So
okay, yeah. As far as that goes, just remember, keep up with kind of scouting these teams as best you can, posting what heroes they play, posting what they spam, things to ban. I generally, if you can get a good hold of their comfort heroes or the things that they've been playing a lot recently, it's more important to ban out at this level than like some high conceptual fucking team fight combo. but also, I'd like to see you guys practicing a lot more as a team if you can. Maybe just get in a couple of ranked games whenever you're. I know sometimes things get stressful when you're playing ranked games or any games. Period. It always does. Just remember to keep a level head. Don't bitch out your teammates in the middle of a game. I think that's very important. You can always save the criticism and critique for later, but in the middle of a game is not the time to be flaming. It's the time to be listening to your shot caller and playing your game as best as you can. In pubs where it's like 4 random people, fine, by all means. I don't really care if you're toxic or not. But especially when it's you guys, you need to kind of work on the cohesiveness and respecting each other. And that's always going to take priority over playing well, honestly. As long as you guys keep a friendly environment and can just focus more on improving rather than tearing each other down. Honestly, I was telling Lincoln this. It's my job to bitch you out for things that you're doing wrong. It's not your job. I can be the bad guy. I'm not afraid of being the bad guy, of saying, like, no, you did this completely wrong. This is what you need to do. I'm not above that. It's not your job to do it in the middle of a game, no matter who you are. And so I want you guys to remember that. I want you to try and play, save the critique for after the game. Work on that with me, work on that with each other. I don't really care. I really want to see you guys definitely playing and practicing more as a team. I think that's going to make the biggest difference. Even if it's just ranked games, or if it's scrims. Scrims are preferable, ranked games are still good. But yeah, don't let a couple of bad games discourage you, because everyone has them. And just constantly be on the lookout for what I need to improve on as just singular.